Hi, I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself and my work so you could determine whether I'm the right person for you or we're the right fit if you're looking for a therapist. So about me, I'm a natural born relator off the streets of Brooklyn, ready to relate to anyone, anytime, about anything. And I listen too. I call myself a self and relationship-based therapist. And that includes I'm a relationship therapist and trainer, and I'm also an addiction recovery and intervention specialist, working with individuals, couples, and families for the past 35 years in private practice. All of the work that I do is about empowering the transformation of relationships by developing a relationship with yourself. You know, what I've learned, a couple of basic realities that I've gotten in my working with people doing clinical work is that what I'm struck by is the prevailing sense of demoralization and ineptitude and lack of know-how. It's just a glaring lack of know-how. And what very few people realize or understand is that relationships, relating, connecting, intimacy, and conversations are art forms. As is the case with any art form, basic principles apply. You have to understand the co-creative process, and essential skills must be practiced and honed. So who are the best people to work with me? Who do I love working with? Who do I think are where my sweet spot is in my clientele? Well, first off, any of you that are struggling in a relationship, you're feeling that the relationship isn't working, there are communication issues, there's constant discord and conflict and really bad feelings being together. It's in a state of disrepair and in desperate need for a repair station or an intervention. And I'm talking about all relationships, just intimacy and connection. It could be with whatever your relationship is, whether it's parent-child, siblings, parents together, or couples in a relationship, or friends, or extended family. But any one of these relationships that you feel is more disconnected than connected, and that you want to find a way of communicating better with each other so you could ultimately feel closer and more connected. Another area that I mentioned is an addiction and recovery specialist, is that anyone in a relationship that you want to break up, and I'm talking about mostly like addictive or dependency-based relationships. So these are dependency-based relationships with substances, mind and mood altering substances. It could be with process addictions, whether it's compulsive gambling, porn, or sex, or relationships with other people that are dependency-based, like love addiction and codependency. So I have a whole program of recovery that occurs in 3 stages. And I take you through those stages so you could either break up that relationship, have an exit strategy, or figure out a way of being healthier in it or making the relationship healthier. And breaking up that relationship. When you break up that relationship with the means of relief, space then opens for a new relationship with yourself, the relationship with yourself. So this is the stages of recovery that my program and working with me will guide you through. And then also with parents, I want to work with parents who uh, wish to grow and deepen their relationships with their children so they could feel more closer and more connected to them. And also that a lot of these situations, these are parents who are looking for guidance so they could transition from relating to them as children to seeing and relating to them adult to adult. A lot of parents are stuck relating to their kids as children and are still doing that as they grow up into adulthood. So you can see that's not going to work. There's going to be a disconnect there. And also parents who wish to be role models to their children. So your children can learn from you how to be in a relationship, and that you could have the satisfaction of seeing them develop healthy relationships for themselves in childhood, through adolescence, and into adulthood. Wouldn't that be great if you could see that? Make you feel so good. And then there are also parents who wish to break free from these dynamics that are just dragging them down through the mud with this constant conflict and disconnection, and it just doesn't feel good. And there's a wedge. So there's the work in these situations are, for me, to facilitate conversations that give the wedge that of unexpressed feelings and unresolved issues, that's a barrier between, a wedge between them, and that keeps them apart. And I want them to have the unexpressed feelings and unresolved issues to get the airtime they need to talk to each other, to bridge an understanding. So these are some of my these are my ideal people that I love to work with, and I've seen the most greatest outcomes working with, and I feel great, the greatest to, and look forward to the most to working with. So I hope that helps. And if it does, if this feels right to you, then you can give me a call, and my contact information is at the website. Okay, take care. Hope to see you in the office or on Zoom.